All right, people, what's going on, man? It's T. I'm back, friends, with a reaction video to JasonBlaha, the strength and fitness, the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself, JasonBlaha. Yes, man, we're going to do a reaction video today. Blaha says intermittent fasting plus high protein intake equals fat loss. So let's interpret this or translate this. Starving plus high protein intake equals fat loss. That makes absolutely no sense. But okay, whatever.
Intermittent fasting plus ultra high protein is a game changer for losing body fat. Hey,
So how do you accomplish starving and having high protein intake? How do you accomplish that? You don't need to starve yourself if you're eating a high nutrient diet, which is called meat. What he's talking about, protein, meat. Well, I definitely don't think he's talking about vegan diet. There's no protein in there. It's an incomplete. The amino acids are incomplete.
everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. This is stuff I've learned over the years working with both my clients as well as some of my own.
Look, before I get started in this video, let's get one thing straight, man. Steroids, hormones, when they're really high, they recycle proteins. They recycle energy in your body. And if you consume more while you're starving, if you were starving and these hormones were really high, because you're injecting them endogenously, okay, fakely, artificially, you're injecting them. So your body sees it the same way, but you're doing something unnatural. And so now not only is your body seeing you as starving, wasting away, but all of a sudden you start consuming a lot of calories, instead of your natural diet as a carnivore. It just, oh man, you have no idea. And so this energy is going to be stored in the sarcoplasm. And that's what increases the sarcoplasm exponentially rapidly in bodybuilders, or these fake bodybuilding people, or cosmetic people, I call them, taking steroids. Now, can you do it naturally? Yes. Eat a 100-pound bag of potatoes every other week, and you're going to get massive. It's an energy source, providing, listen to this word. In bodybuilding, when you reach a level of, when you get an influx of nuclei in an adaptation, okay, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to see that mass on that myofibrillar. Okay, now the sarcoplasm, in order to see that sarcoplasm increase, and remember, it is not controlled by follistatin, myostatin, or the satellite cell. So, when glycogen exceeds breakdown, guess what? It's going to keep loading in the sarcoplasm. So the more complex carbohydrates, which do not spike insulin, which have a low absorbing rate, are going to load in the sarcoplasm, and it's going to get massive. You're going to get massive like a steroid guy. Get it? It's an energy source. So they inject steroids. This is people that are wasting away. That's what they use them for in hospitals. They use steroids for people that are wasting away. Now, in sports, people use them as enhanced performing drugs, but they are not muscle building drugs. They are waste preserving drugs. They preserve you if you're wasting away. That's what they do. Okay, bro? Yeah, I'm not saying that testosterone doesn't help synthesize protein, but without additional nuclei, you cannot support further growth of that domain. And it has ended. You understand me, like it says in myonuclear domain size limit. It has ended during hypertrophic process beyond where the satellite cell can donate any more extra nuclei to that domain to support further muscle growth. So what do you need to do to try to get more of them if it's ended? What do you need to do to get more of these fucking nuclei? It's ended. The domain has ended. Get it? Most people don't even realize it's ended. And what makes it end, or why did it end, or where did it go? And so, yeah, what do? They start eating carbs. They start bulking, carbs, getting fat, a bunch of stuff. They take steroids, and then they eat more carbs. They're like the trend twins. They eat cookies and donuts all day, and then they get massive, and then they say, those are muscles. Okay.
Recent transformation. I've had a lot of people say, hey, what in the heck have you done? You've gone from, again, being a softer, fluffier power lifter, not fat, but definitely not real lean, not having anything near visible abs, stuff like that. But now this is what...
Because he was fat. He was fat. He never built any muscle. Look at his body. You understand me? He first came in when he first trained. First training, untrained, first training, satellite cell fusion, hypertrophy. There, that's Blaha, okay? And he never shot for any more adaptations. Somebody like me, I show you my old pictures. Bro, I shot for adaptations. That's why I was able to get as big as I was. You understand me? And I still am pretty big without lifting, because I not only did I get nuclei, but I fucking went through a repair and a remodeling several times over, going to a gym. That's a lot of work. Now, it doesn't mean that your body is going to show these scars. They eventually mold. Science tells you that. They can't distinguish that these fibers have been damaged anymore, because the cells, they melt into each other. They become normal again, normalized. So yeah, I don't know. Can you lose them? Yes, you can lose fibers. Can you gain them? Yes, you can. Can you lose nuclei? Yes. Can you get them? Yes. But only in an adaptation. And that's what makes bodybuilding so difficult, because it is really astronomically high on the bar to keep expanding the myonuclear domain size limit. To expand it is exponentially massively difficult, bro. Get it? For a lot of people. For me, it's not. But even for me at my age now, it kind of is. Every time I come in there, I dread I have to go through this crazy routine to get an adaptation. See what I mean? That's why I don't like lifting.
I look like at this point, and again, this is after decades and decades, and I think, for the past 12 years on YouTube, I've been at a considerably higher body fat than I'm at now. And again, I've had people say, hey...
That's all this really is cosmetic. All he did is lose some body fat. That's it. He looks like a normal person walking down the street. Look, a normal person on their natural diet would look like this without doing any exercise. You understand me? Just look around. There's a lot of skinny people out there, because they don't eat a lot of artificial foods. They eat more animal products, if anything. See what I mean? And so look at them. Young people, older people. I know older people, younger people, they eat natural food, and they look like this. They don't have to use these bands and exercises and all these weird stuff that Blaha is doing to look this way. You don't have to do that to look this way.
What are you doing? Are you using a fat burner? What's going on? And quite frankly, almost all that I've really done is just fasting plus real...
Yes, of course. What are you doing? Fat burners, all these artificial things. What are you doing? Steroids, fat burners, blah, blah, blah. Well, we know that Blaha is on steroids, so a lot of it's artificial, whatever the hell he's doing there.
High protein. That almost all that I've really done is just fasting plus really high protein. That has been my approach.
Let me get this straight. So he starved himself and then he did high protein, or he's doing high protein and starving himself at the same time? How do you accomplish that? That makes absolutely no sense. Okay.
I've never even cut my calories that low. Okay, I've never cut my calories that low. So
then he lied. He's been on carnivore diet ever since. He lied. He showed you these fake baskets. It's to trick all of you. It's to trick people. That's all it is. It's like these guys, they come online and they show you they're super lean and they go, I eat pizza all day and McDonald's. You think they got like that, eating pizza and McDonald's all day? Come on, bro.
At this point in the game, and I'm still getting leaner right now, this is not done. What I have personally found is doing all of my training fasted in the mornings, right? I don't usually eat.
He does all his training fasted. That's why he's able to get away with it. He's not completely anorexic because he's taking steroids, bro. They're wasting drugs for people that are wasting away. That's what they use them for. Get it? And that's what he's doing. They're recycling these proteins and everything in his body and the energy.
Eat till 11 o'clock, noon, something like that. That is my approach. Okay, I do my lifting fasted. I do my cardio fasted, and
I recommend you do not starve yourself doing any of these things if you are a natural lifter, a normal lifter, not on drugs.
make sure that I get, a minimum of 250, 300 grams of protein a day. And I protein load really hard in my first meal.
I'm sure he does.
So after I break my fast, I protein load hard. What I find is once I do that, as long as I'm eating clean, it doesn't matter whether I've done, the higher carb approach, the brown rice and sweet potato, or if I'm doing, steak and peanut butter and avocados, I find I get the same results in terms of at least body fat. Okay? I'm getting the same results in terms of body fat loss. I get leaner and leaner and leaner. And that's been the fascinating thing I've found with this sort of combination, is that I can keep calories really high. And I think the reasons for this, there's a couple things to look at, because it's not just me. When you start looking at some of the protein overfeeding studies that are out there, we know that extremely high protein intakes seems to cause some shift in body composition, potentially almost irrespective of calories. So again, those protein overfeeding studies we saw, what happened? Right? What happened? We all know what happened. They tried to force people to eat an extra 200 grams of protein every day who were on high protein diets at maintenance by drinking it as shakes early in the day and then trying to eat their normal.
Why doesn't he just call a high nutrient diet? Meat is a high nutrient diet. I don't know what he's talking about. Protein shakes, are these plants from plants? They're garbage. They're waste products. They're crap.
Food to create a calorie surplus. They all lost body fat. Now, they also all gained muscle.
Look, if you want to lose body fat really fast, eat a high nutrient diet, animal diet, like fatty fish and meat. Just eat a lot of it, like I did in the summertime. And man, I went and posed. I posed in the last two shots I did, my last two videos. You notice I look a lot leaner because, well, it wasn't completely over yet. August was coming up still. There was August still there. I took those, I think, until July. Then there's still August. I was still eating like that. So I got even leaner. So you get lean super fast. Why? Because your body's not in starvation. So it says, well, we don't need this fat anymore, right? We've got abundance here now. We're filled with nutrients. So they release the fat. They let it go. But here's the thing. Can you accumulate bad fat cells and good fat cells? Yes, there's good fat. When you eat animal fat, there's good fat. In the wintertime, your body will adapt to the cold weather. You're going to start shivering. You're going to be cold when you're walking outside in cold weather all the time. Now, if you're eating a lot of animal fat, it'll start storing it as good fat, brown fat. Now, if you're eating carbohydrates all day, that kind of fat, you could visually see in summer and winter. Guess what? It's going to store as bad fat. Get it? White cells or whatever. You get the point.
Small amounts of muscle, obviously, but that was the interesting observation. The protein overfeeding itself seems to have contributed to this enormously. Okay? When they tried to force.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They're doing protein overfeeding, yet they lost body fat, right? But they didn't gain any muscle. Why? Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. Okay, they exceeded that breakdown exponentially more than they would usually do because they ate another 200 grams of protein above what they were eating. Okay, well, how come their muscles didn't get bigger, but they lost body fat?
A calorie surplus by adding more protein. So adding protein on top of maintenance. Again, keeping in mind these are people already on a high protein diet, like bodybuilders.
Again, protein is not just meat, is not just protein. It is a high nutrient diet. All the nutrients are in there. The water soluble, fat soluble
type diets. All right. So that made them leaner. It made them leaner.
Yeah, it made them leaner, but it didn't make them any bigger.
So then what? Look at the fasting thing. And that's been the other thing to think about. We had studies that looked at fasting, yet everyone who does fasted cardio, for example, studies that looked at fasting, yet everyone who does fasted cardio, for example, all these high-level bodybuilders, even the natural ones, usually the ones who get really lean, they find that fasted cardio helps. So once I started adding fasted cardio again a couple months back, for me, the same thing. I started seeing even further positive changes, but I didn't lose strength or muscle.
Fasted cardio, that means to consume. Remember, starving means that your body is going to start consuming itself.
So that's been the thing. Okay, I've actually, since I added that in, I didn't really see a change in body weight. I've stayed in the same weight range, yet body fat percentages slowly trickled down.
He looks very average. Just a very average dude. That's all. He keeps exercising his body. Yeah, he eats some carbs for sure. And he's lowered his body fat. That's about it.
I have gotten.
Look, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing what Blaha's doing.
Continue to get leaner. Keeping in mind, I'm doing this without really dieting. I don't feel like I'm creating a calorie deficit. I'm full all the time. Okay, I'm eating huge amounts of food. So, when you
look at client Michelle. Look at her, the first vlog that he ever put up about client Michelle on his channel. How come he's not posting her anymore? She's disappeared because she's dropped him like a bad rash. She dropped Blaha like a bad rash because she didn't see anything. And I think there was some other weird stuff going on there about him going to see her, and she just got repulsed by him. But anyways, bad coach. She's never changed. Her physique never changed.
Look at that data on the fasted cardio. What did they find? Well, that it didn't burn any more calories. Okay, here's the problem with that. That's not looking at long-term body composition under a DEXA. That's only saying, well, no, it didn't seem to burn more calories or more body fat while doing it. Okay. And the counter argument is, okay, even if you do, once you eat later, you're going to regain, it's going to balance back out. It's going to balance back out. Except here's the problem with that. If you're not going into any sort of big calorie surplus for the day, it doesn't matter that you balance back out later in the day, because you're not gaining any real fat from it. Particularly if it's a diet that doesn't contribute to gaining fat. Let's say it's a diet that very clean, to where your hormonal response doesn't push any cascade of hormones towards storing body fat. All right. So let's say your carbohydrates are mostly healthy.
Hormones towards storing body fat. Yeah. What would make you start storing body fat? Think about that for a moment.
Your carbs and lots of fiber. Your fats are healthier fat.
Carbs, fiber, do you need that as a carnivore? Absolutely not. Don't know why he still promotes that.
The cleaner fats. You get having plenty of like omega.
What are the cleaner fats? Animal fats. Fish.
3 and other polyunsaturated fats that we know speed up fat oxidation. So if you're
no polyunsaturated, no.
then consuming a diet later in the day, even if the calories are rematched back up, that isn't itself prone to fat storage, because the calories are not equal. Yes, it's calories in, calories out, but the calories we eat actually affect the way we process the calories out. Okay? Keep that in mind when we were talking about these foods. So what ends up happening, a lot of those foods you then eat later contribute more towards an anabolic effect, protein. Contribute more towards oxidation of fat rather than storage. What's the net result? You get leaner. Again,
okay.
People who are eating a good diet while doing it, not the people who are flexible dieting and trying to work Pop-Tarts in. What happens? They all get leaner when they do the fasted cardio. Even
you get leaner when you do the fasted cardio. Well, yeah, because you're starving yourself. Hello, your body is going to start eating itself. What's the first thing to go usually? Fat. But you don't have to go so extreme and destroy your health at the same time. You will destroy your health If you starve yourself and it starts eating the fat, you will hurt yourself. Trust me, in the long run.
Without adjusting calories is often the case. But the other thing,
You don't have to do that. You can eat a very high nutrient diet and do these so-called exercises if you want, and that body fat's going to come off so fast.
is when we're fasted in the morning, our calories are going to be more adjusted. So do we see where we're going with this? What I'm finding is that I'm getting leaner doing this.
This is great for shrinking your arms. If you want to shrink your arms, do a lot of these really fast like him with an elastic band, and you'll shrink your arms, your shoulders, everything. Yeah, they'll get really small.
At this point, even forcing down healthy, because I'm forcing myself to eat tons of food later in the day. I'm going to bed 100% full in the evening. Okay? What's happening? I'm getting leaner. You guys are watching it happen.
Man, you all know I was doing this on my channel, remember? And I got leaner doing that. I was eating at the buffet. Look at all my videos, all that meat I've been eating. Hoo-ah. Come on. He's been watching my videos. He knows. He's learned from my videos. Eating a lot of protein is going to make you leaner because it's a high nutrient diet. You're not starving. Your body's going to see this as you're in this phase where we're in a land of plenty. So it's going to drop all the body fat very easily. I even doubt that he's starving himself. Honestly, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Why would you do that? But yeah, maybe he's exercising. I don't know. He says starved. In the morning, he didn't eat anything. But he's still overeating during the day. He eats a lot. He says he goes to bed full. So what does that say? He really starving? Not really. He probably just exercised without eating breakfast.
Real time. So I'm a perfect example of how this sort of system works. So if you are doing your training fast, your intermittent fast.
You know the problem with these people that claim they have high IQs? They're the stupidest people that I know, like JasonBlaha. He says that he has a very high IQ. It would shock people. They'd be scared. Yeah, he's the stupidest person I know on the internet because no person with a high IQ would jail themselves in a garage, being a lifting slave, starving themselves and doing all these weird things and promoting an artificial diet called carbohydrates, which don't exist in fucking nature. Or lifting these crazy weights repetitively, getting nowhere, no adaptations, nothing. It just that screams stupidness to me. I don't know. Whatever.
You're eating really high protein, you're eating a clean diet. At least in my case, and this will probably apply to him.
I like how he says protein, clean diet. Which one is it? What do you mean by clean diet? Protein, clean diet. If you're eating animal protein, that is a clean diet.
A lot of you,
I'm sorry. He's the guy with the high IQ. Me, I don't have a high IQ. I don't know anything. Fuck.
Find that I can eat almost an open-ended amount of calories, at least to the point of discomfort almost, to where I am full all the time, yet I'm stripping down body fat.
Yeah, that's what I was doing on my channel. I'm full all the time. I was eating meat, animal products, and fish. I was full all the time, yet I was losing body fat. So now he says that he was starving. He starves himself, but yet he's eating a lot and stripping body fat. So which one is it, Blaha? I see this guy's all over the place on his channel. He's telling you he's overfeeding on protein and he's stripping body fat, but then he's telling you he's starving. Which one is it?
All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been.
Thank God. It hasn't been, man. You're just screwing up people. I'll see you in the next one. Don't listen to him. Listen to your instincts. See you in the next video. Ciao, friends.